So, you have ventured in the forest, eager to explore. And now the winding fairy path shall guide you to my door. This magic moss and shrubbery, 3 decades in the making, are ready, set, fully charged to get your fandom quaking. So, fly, fools, come hither to discover, meet and play. Your hero is approaching, just mere seconds away. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Hoechlin.
Oh my God! Hi.
Hello, Mr. Hoechlin. Welcome to Belgium.
Thank you, sir. Good to be here. How's everybody doing? Good? So, first question.
Hi.
Hi.
I was wondering, what was your reaction when you found out that Eric Hill is going to die in the movie?
Jeff and I had a conversation about it, and he told me it was going to be, you know, this big sacrificial thing. Oh, spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen the movie yet. This big sacrificial gesture, and I just thought that felt very fitting for Derek. I feel like, especially like his evolution on the show and who he became, it just felt like something that he would do. It's, you know, to see that happen to a character, it's always tough, but at the same time, I feel like I should quote like one of my other favorite shows, which is to say, "What is dead may never die." So I feel like it's pretty fitting for Teen Wolf. So who knows? Who knows where he is?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, first of all, I want to say thank you for participating in more a motivating show than a draining one, like Teen Wolf. I've been watching it since the beginning, so yeah.
Well, thank you for watching.
You're welcome. I actually have a question more related to you and not the movies.
Okay.
As in, obviously you have a great body and you did workouts and stuff. So I want to ask you, like, do you still train a lot, and how do you train? And do you have maybe some kind of practices, like morning practices or evening practices, like mindful things to, like, yeah, be in a world as an actor like you are?
I mean, my day job right now still requires a lot of training, so I still have to do that. I have the problem of, like, I get a lot smaller if I'm not in the gym a lot, so still have to train almost every day, trying to put on even more weight for next season, so that'll be a chore for this summer. And as far as like the mindfulness things, I try to spend a lot of time, actually weirdly enough, when I'm driving, I actually drive in silence sometimes, like a lot of times without music, just to kind of just let everything slow down and quiet down. That's one of them. And the other one is actually just being in the gym and working out and kind of getting into my own zone there. So it's actually become more than a chore, it's just actually one of the hours of my day that I really enjoy. So.
Okay, nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
How was it like to work on the movie for Teen Wolf after the series and everything?
It was a lot of fun. I think people know by now that we're not lying when we say it's really like a big family on Teen Wolf. And so my only regret is that I didn't have more days to work with everybody. It was a busy schedule and I was still shooting the show. But it was, you know, most of my best friends are from Teen Wolf. So to be able to go back to work with them was really special.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey Tyler.
Hello, sir.
If a director would come up to you and ask you to, like, for a movie, what movie would you say yes immediately, and what character?
Are you offering me a job? No, okay. Immediately, Indiana Jones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
A few fans? Okay. Yeah, I love the action adventure stuff, and I also love like the time period that all those movies took place in. So it wouldn't necessarily have to be the same thing, but that kind of a thing, I would love to do something like that. That or something like Peaky Blinders.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know if that was good or bad, but got a reaction.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi Tyler.
Hello.
You're doing good. My question is more about the DC world. So, first of
A little
all,
closer to the mic.
yeah, sorry. First of all, what do you think about the DC Universe reboot? And are there any future crossovers or projects that we might see you in DCU?
I've not been spoken to about any of them, but I'm excited to see what James Gunn is going to do. I was a huge fan of Guardians, so excited to see what he brings to DC. And as far as crossovers go, I feel like all the shows for us to cross over with are gone. I think they're all done now, so they're all enjoying their time after their 8 and 9 seasons of doing what they've done. So we'll see. Who knows? We haven't gotten an official word yet on whether or not we're coming back for another season, but we're hopeful that I think James had said some nice things, and that it looks like there'll be maybe at least one more. So we'll see what happens.
Thanks a lot, Tyler, and great job on Superman and Lewis.
Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it.
Hi, I have 2 questions for you. The first is about the Teen Wolf fandom, actually. How do you feel about, Derek and Styles being shipped together?
If I had a nickel for every time I've been asked that question,
Sorry.
I'd be retired by now. I love Dylan. I've always loved those 2 characters from the very beginning of the show. That was one of my favorite dynamics to play off of. I enjoyed that dynamic and characters in any film, any show. It's just it's always so fun to see these polar opposites just kind of like butting heads the whole time. So I love Dill. I wish we had even more scenes together than we do, but the scenes that we did have together were always some of my favorites. So especially the last season with the carrying each other out of the burning building thing. That was one of my favorite things we ever shot on Teen Wolf, ever.
The second question is, what if, Superman and Lois and Teen Wolf would smash together and Derek would, instead of Scott, have bitten one of his children? What would happen then?
Wait, if who, what?
So if instead of Scott, Derek would have bitten one of Superman's sons, what would happen then? You know both characters pretty well, so...
I feel like Superman would have had a talking to with Derek. It would have been a conversation.
Just talking to?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I don't think, what else would he do? I don't think there's nothing left to do. He's already bit him, so... Can't take it back. I think he'd have stern talking to. Yeah.
It would be an interesting world, those 2 together.
It would almost be Styles and Derek again. Because Clark's got a little bit of Styles to him.
Okay, I can see where that's coming from. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi everybody.
No, it happens to me every time.
So I have a question about Superman and Lois. I know you didn't watch other Superman for not having influences. So what was your inspiration to play Clark, and how did you word it to make your own version?
Inspiration for Clark, I had a really great meeting with Greg Berlanti back in, I forget what it was, 2016 or something like that now. And we just kind of had spoken about the character, because I had auditioned for Man of Steel, I think a year or 2 before that, maybe it was further back than that. So I had already kind of done some research on who the character was and who I thought he was. Had come up with my thoughts on it. So when he and I had our meeting, we agreed on a lot of things, and so I felt confident in approaching it that way. Some of the inspiration for Clark on this show has come from my dad. So there's quite a few things that Clark will do that's definitely just something my dad would do. So that's been a big piece of inspiration for me. My dad was a great dad, so I just had to try to put as much of that into Clark as I can. And then as far as Superman, I think it's just, you know, you kind of have to commit to something knowing that some people are going to love it and some people are going to hate it, and you're never going to make everybody love it. So that's what we did. I just kind of have my vision of him, and I've committed to that, and hopefully people enjoy it enough that we keep going a little longer.
And I have a second question. Did you act a little bit differently on Supergirl and Superman and Lois?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, the character was written different, the tone of the show was different, and also, you know, for me it was important when Superman showed up on Supergirl, you know, he was there. It's funny, the character was there in the same way I was there. It was really to like assist and be a part of it. And with this show, obviously, it's, you know, it's Superman, and so it's a little bit more. We get to spend more time with him. We get to be more in depth with him, and so yeah, it's definitely been a much different approach. And I think that was always the plan. And when we went to shoot the pilot of our show, it was very clear with the writing and the directing and just everything that it was going to be a lot different. So yeah, I'm glad that we've had our opportunity to kind of go in our own direction.
Okay, thank you, and you did a perfect job on Superman and Lois and Supergirl.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you very much.
Hi, Tyler.
Yes, sir.
My question is also DC related, but how was it for you portraying Superman and therefore also Clark Kent? Because Superman is like one of the first or also the most nostalgic superhero.
Yeah. How was it for me?
Yeah.
It's been fun, man. It's been an honor. It's been a privilege. I'm happy to be a part of something that's to be able to play a character that's meant so much to so many people for so many years. It really is. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that we've been able to do it for the amount of years we have now, and you know, whether it's another year or 2 or 5 or none, whatever it ends up being, I've really just enjoyed my time with it, and I've enjoyed meeting people who care about the character a lot and care about these stories. And so, you know, whatever happens with our show, the character will continue, and I'm excited to see what they do with it next. And I hope people just continue to really hold on to these characters. I do think they're important, and I really like what he stands for, and so I'm grateful that it ended up being him that I got to play.
All right, thanks for your answer.
Thank you, man.
Hi. So you said you did an audition for Man of Steel. So I was wondering, what was your reaction when you got the call that you got the role of Superman?
Surprised. I'd never thought. It was weird. I think I never really thought about it before, and then something happened when I was at San Diego Comic-Con one year, which is that there was this big rumor going around that I was going to be the next Batman for some reason, and it was like it was going around everywhere. Like friends were calling me, people at Comic-Con were coming up to me and asking me like, "Dude, are they going to announce that here?" I'm like, I've heard nothing. So it was the craziest thing, because I had to call my agent and my manager and ask them if they weren't telling me something. It was so strange. So that, coupled with me maybe seeing myself more in that world, this had just never really occurred to me that this is the character I would play. And so I think that's one of the reasons why I've been able to play him the way that I do. Is because I didn't really grow up with it, and it wasn't something that was so close to me that it was too hard to attach myself to it. I think it actually made me able to understand Clark even more so than had I grown up a fan of it. So I'm grateful that it ended up being him. But yeah, I was quite surprised. I was quite surprised when it happened.
Thank you.
Hi. So I have a question about Teen Wolf.
Sure.
We all know that Werewolf Bite cured Scott asthma, but do you think Werewolf Bite would cure mental illnesses?
Oh man, that's a good question. I don't know. I would have to ask the mastermind of all of this. Jeff Davis about that. I don't know where the power of the bite ends. I'm sure it has its limits as well, but I feel like with some of those things, it would be, people go through some of those things, and I'm not sure that the bite would necessarily eliminate some of the things that contribute to that. That's part of the human experience as well. So I'm not sure. I have to ask Jeff. I'll ask Jeff about that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
I wanted to ask first, how are you enjoying Belgium?
How am I doing in Belgium?
Yeah.
I'm doing great in Belgium. I can't believe how many people there are here. There's like so many people here. This is great. This is awesome. I'm doing great. It's a beautiful country. I've been to Brussels. I've been to Bruges. I've been to Brussels again. It's my first time in Gent. Gent is stunning, magnifique. It's really, really wonderful. So I hope I get more time to spend here.
And my second question is, what was the moment that you realized that the cast in Teen Wolf is like a family team?
That was pretty quick. I think for me and Tyler and Dylan, it was kind of before we even started filming. We had like our big test thing where you have like 3 Scotts, 3 Styles, 3 Dereks, and we all keep going into the room and different pairings to see who it's going to be. And me and Posey and Dylan, by the end of the day, were just talking about everything. And I knew Tyler a little bit, and Dylan and I were talking about baseball, and we just kind of already felt like really fast friends. And then we lived together the first season, which was super fun. So yeah, it was all really, really fast. They're just really good people. And I miss them when I don't see them for a while, but hopefully we can get like another Teen Wolf thing going on over here sometime soon, get everybody back together.
Thank you so much, and also thank you for your role as Derek, because the show helped me through a lot of different times.
Oh good, I'm so glad to hear that. Thank you, love.
Did you ever have to practice in martial arts for a movie, or do you just go to the gym to get in shape?
Martial arts, not like a particular one. Like never had to learn jiu-jitsu or anything like that. But I did do a movie in Italy quite a few years ago, and we had to do some military training. So it was like a 2-person special ops team. So we had to learn how to go in and clear a room as 2 people, how to do certain things in tandem, like retreating and a lot of that kind of stuff. So that was really fun. That was it definitely makes you appreciate what those guys do. But yeah, that was probably the most intensive, specific training I've done for anything like that. Do you do anything? Do you fight? No. Okay. One day maybe.
Nah, gym and judo, I guess.
Okay, there you go.
And for my last question, what kind of advice would you give to your younger self when starting out as an actor?
So like a young me or like other young actors?
Just to yourself when you were younger.
To myself?
Or yeah, you can also say that for the exercise.
To myself, I would say just do what you do best. Do what you do and challenge yourself, but challenge yourself in the way that you want to be challenged. And I think sometimes in acting, especially when you're younger, there feels like a pressure to be what they want you to be for a role. And at the end of the day, I always say whatever role you're meant to get, if you're prepared, you will get it. And if there's a role that you're not meant to get, it's probably not going to go your way because it's meant for somebody else. So you can it helps to relax a little bit that way and realize that you do your work and the work will speak for itself and you'll find yourself where you're supposed to be.
Thank you, much appreciated.
Thank you, man.
Hi Taylor.
Hello.
Thank you, first of all, for being my favourite Superman ever.
Oh, thank you.
My first question is, are there any similarities between playing Clark and Derek?
Yeah, there's definitely some. I'd say they're fairly different people, but I do think that they are still very family oriented. I think family is a huge priority for both of them. Loyalty is a big thing for both of them. And like I said, I think they're both, I think Derek in the beginning of Teen Wolf was a little more selfish, but I think he found his way into a much more selfless place, and realizing in the beginning of the show is very much this needing to prove himself and needing to become something to feel like he was enough. And then I feel like at a certain point he realized that that wasn't necessary. He didn't have to become this thing to be worthy of existing. I think he just felt like, oh, I just need to figure out where I fit and how I contribute and make it about everybody else. So I feel like in the end they became very, very similar people.
For my second question, it said that you started acting because you wanted to buy more video games.
Yes. Video games and baseball cards.
Do you still have time to play video games? What's your favorite?
I haven't for a while now. I played a lot during the shutdowns in 2020. And then since then, very, very little. And usually because once I start playing them, it becomes a habit and it's a little addicting. So I've had a little too much work in the last couple of years that I've had to stay away. But I'm sure I'll get back to it eventually.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi Taylor.
Hello.
I have two questions. First thing, what's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie? Okay, I feel like I have different answers for this, but like my favorite movie, like when I was like without judgment and criticism and all this stuff, like just more like just my favorite movie. My favorite movie is the first Pirates of the Caribbean.
Who's your favorite character of Teen Wolf?
My favorite character in Teen Wolf? Greenberg. My favorite character. It's so tough. That's so tough. I love all those guys. They all have a very special place and everything, but I would say, I mean, Styles was always so fun to watch. Like, just so fun. Dylan did such a great job with that, so yeah, I'll give you Styles.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi Derek.
Hello.
We saw some actors and actresses with you directing some episodes. Maybe in the future we will see doing you something about not only act, direct maybe?
Yeah, I've thought about it. I'm definitely moving into more of those things. Obviously, I was a producer on the Teen Wolf film. I have two other things that I'm developing right now that I can't say what they are, but hopefully soon. So I'm definitely moving into that side of things. And I will say, being on the show for 3 years now, the desire to direct an episode is definitely there. And if it's not on the show, then directing something else. But you know, we'll see how many more seasons we have. With Warner Brothers, there's a whole training program that they like people to go through before you do that. So that becomes a question of having the time to do that while we're shooting and then come back. So we'll see if it happens or not. But definitely the desire is there. So one of these days, yeah.
Okay, thank you, and thank you for being all Superman. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Hi. So when you did the Crisis on Infinite Earth special, many characters from all DC properties came back, and I was wondering if you could pick any character that didn't appear, who would you choose to have worked with on that special?
Any ones that I didn't work with?
Or that weren't included in the actual event?
Oh man. Wasn't everybody there? I can't remember. I feel like there were so many superheroes on set. God. I don't know. I feel like everybody that was there, we had so much fun on those days. I always loved working with Melissa and Steven and Grant, and Kat McNamara was there for the crossovers. Everybody that showed up was just so much fun. Bitsy and I had a blast. So, man, I don't know who we left out. I can barely remember what we shot on the show like 3 weeks ago, so I'm trying to remember the crossovers. But I don't know, man. I feel like we had a good group there. I feel like it felt like a pretty full house. Did you guys like the Crisis crossover, by the way? Let me ask that again. Who saw the Crisis crossover? And who liked the Crisis crossover? Okay, it's about the same. I heard one boo over here, so thank you for being honest. I appreciate that. That's great.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Hi.
Hello.
What's your favorite movie or series you've acted in and why?
Oh man. I can gratefully say that there's not just one, so that's nice. It's a good problem to have. I don't know, some for many different reasons. I loved Palm Springs. I don't know if anybody saw Palm Springs, but it was I was a small part in that, but it was such a wonderful film. I thought they did a great job with it. It was really funny, but it said something really beautiful about life and why we're here and what's important, and I thought that was really, really special. Superman and Lois has been incredible because I love the team of people that I get to work with, and I love the stories we get to tell. Teen Wolf has been really special just because it's crazy to think what Teen Wolf was when it first started. Our very first Comic-Con was in San Diego, and there were maybe as many people are standing in line over here to ask a question. That's how many people were in the room, and they all hated us. They were all very mad that we were remaking something called Teen Wolf. And then the next year that we went back to San Diego, it was a massive room, and it was people standing up wall to wall, and everybody was super excited. So just to see that, and then to see it come over here, that's been crazy. It's been crazy to be a part of something that was an original idea, original characters, that has touched so many people. Like that's pretty special. That's really cool, and to be able to give it this like the family that we have from it now is pretty awesome. So I really can't pick one. I did a movie when I was 13 that like changed my life and taught me so much about being in this business and being a professional. I'm very grateful to at least have a couple to pick from.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
So I thought if you were to be able to star in a Marvel movie, what character would you want to play?
What do you think I should play?
I don't know. I think a lot of people are going to be mad that I asked this question, so.
They're gonna be mad? Oh, come on, well, hey, my time's running out, so who knows? Let's see. Just being honest, we don't know. I mean, I feel like the one that always made sense would have been like Wolverine, if Hugh Jackman ever stops doing it, which he probably won't because he'll do it when he's 60 and still be in better shape than me, so it's impressive. So we'll see. I don't know. That one always seemed like it would have been really fun though. I remember watching I loved Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I thought he did such a cool job with that character that when I was younger I was like, oh, that'd be cool someday. But now I realize he's never going to stop doing that because he's too good and he's too fit. So I might have to rethink my choice.
Okay. I also have a kind of random question. What kind of student were you in high school?
I was a bit of a teacher's pet. I was usually in the front row. The teacher told everybody to be quiet. I was immediately quiet, and I got really mad at the people that wouldn't be quiet. I was one of those like annoying, like well-behaved students. My classmates hated me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And the episode with Supergirl, Green Arrow, and the Flash. How was it for you to play a bad Superman?
It was fun. It was fun. It's kind of the same way of playing Bizarro. You know, you just kind of get to break all the rules. You know, like with Superman, there are a lot of rules. There are a lot of things that you have to stay within a certain box and try to move things around as much as you can within those walls, but you still have to stay inside that box. And with Bizarro or the evil Superman, you're free. You can try anything, and if it doesn't work, then you try something else. But it's fun to be able to play a character like that with no limits. So I had a really good time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, man.
Hello again.
Hello, Nicholas.
Thank you. So what was like to work with Jan Bohen when you played with him in Teen Wolf and then again in Superman and Lois? So what was like?
It was very fun. Has anybody here met Ian Bohen? Yeah? Sorry. Ian is one of my best friends. I love Ian to death. We had so much fun on Teen Wolf, and then in the years afterwards, we always talked about doing something together again, and we still throw around other ideas. We're trying to figure some stuff out, but the fact that that happened on that show, and the way it did, like season 1 was a really challenging shoot because it was during COVID. We were stuck up in Canada. We weren't allowed to come home and see any family or friends. Family and friends couldn't come up and visit us. So we were there for almost a full year like that. And we weren't really allowed to hang out with each other offset either. So after that season, to have like one of my best friends up there in the second season was just the greatest gift. We had such a blast.
I can imagine.
Yeah, you can't imagine. It's yeah. It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
And so the last question was, so I watched Superman and Lois season 3. Sorry. How will Lois will be? Will she has a cancer? So will she be okay? Will she heal?
How many episodes have you seen?
The three.
Okay.
Yes.
Ask me in 10 episodes.
Okay.
We'll talk about it again in like 6 months.
Okay. I will watch. Yes.
Yeah, watch the rest and then we'll talk about it afterwards.
Okay.
Hi.
Hello.
Which co-star or character from Teen Wolf would you like to work with on the Superman series?
All of them.
But if you had to pick like one.
If I had to pick one, oh my god. I really would pick so many of them, if not honestly all of them. But I would love to. I love working with JR. I really love working with JR Bourne, Argent. He and I have just such a great friendship, and he and I talk about the show and about the character a lot. Like he and I have actually spent many phone calls, like 2, 3, 4 hours long, just talking about Superman and the character and the storylines on the show, and it always turns into a conversation about life. And so we just have some really special talks that are about the character anyway. So I would really love to see if there was a way to find him on the show at some point.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi Tyler.
Hello.
I would like to ask, how much of your own personality can you put into your roles, and did you take something from your roles for your own?
Sorry, I think I got most of it. Can you say it one more time?
How much of your own characters in your roles, and do you take something from your roles for your own character?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's in every role that you play, there's a lot of you in it. Because whether or not it's something that is similar to what you do in life or not what you do in life, it still has to come from a place of understanding it. So I think everybody has these things inside them, and some are much more suppressed, some are more readily available, and so it's just kind of trying to find a way that you understand why this character is doing something. Because I feel like if you can't find an empathetic way to understand what they're going through, then it's really difficult to give an honest portrayal of what that person's going through. It feels a little fake and forced. So I'd say there's a lot of you that find yourself into these characters, even if at the end of the day you're not necessarily like them in the actions that you take.
And everyone thanks you for Superman on Darius, and I thank you for Martin Moore.
Oh, well, thank you
Even
so
if
much.
I'm so old I am.
Long live Marty. Thank you.
Hello, thank you for being there today.
Thank you.
So the thing is, my question has already been asked. So I was going to ask you which Marvel character would you like to play, but you answered. So I will have another question while I was on the line, and it is, you said you used to play video games, so I was wondering which game did you play and which one was your favorite?
Oh man. played Super Mario 64. Played the first Star Wars game that came out on Nintendo 64. Before that, it was Sonic the Hedgehog. And then like on Super Nintendo, it was Ken Griffey Jr. Baseball all the time. God, I'm trying to go back all the way. What was the one they did? What was the movie that the Rock did? Wait. What was it? That was that the one with like the big gorilla, the big crocodile? Rampage.
Oh, Rampage.
Thank you. Sorry. Appreciate it. Yes. So Rampage used to play that all the time. I think it was like on Atari or something like that. And then, but the one that was like the crazy one was Halo. We played Halo till the sun came up way too many times. Yeah, that Halo took up like all of junior high and high school, basically.
That's a nice one.
That was a good one. What was your favorite?
I like Doom.
Okay.
GTA, Red Dead Redemption, and Pokemon.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Yes, those are good choices.
Thank you very much.
Hi.
Hello.
Again. My question, first of all...
Wait, this is your first convention, right? This is her first convention.
First of all, I want to say I love the movie, Teen Wolf movie.
Oh, thank you.
I'm really fan of it. I even cried when I saw it. My question was, what was the most favorite part from the movie? Where did you have the most fun of it?
The most fun part of the movie?
Yes.
Oh man. Yeah, probably shooting the ending. It was. I mean, we had, you know, season finales on the show where like most everybody was there, but to have like really like everybody on the set for that whole last week of shooting, is that last big night scene that's like out in the kind of like foresty garden thing. That was like 5 days straight of all of us just hanging out like nonstop every night. So to have the whole team there, that was really fun, and it brought back so many memories of like our late night shoots and everything that we used to do for God knows how many years. That was the coolest part of the shoot.
Thank you.
Thank you. By the way, I just noticed the clown right next to the mic, and that is awesome. Well done. Great.
Hi. First of all, you're really one of my favorite actors, and I really thank you for that. I loved you in Teen Wolf and in Superman. You're like one of my favorites. I have two questions. First of all, like, what was your motivation or reason to audition for Teen Wolf, and like, was Derek your first choice?
Motivation was I needed a job. I had just stopped playing college baseball, and I was officially starting to do acting full time. I'd always gone back and forth between baseball and acting. But no, I mean, honestly, so it was after, you know, Twilight had come out, and that had obviously done well, and there were a lot of other spin-offs and shows in like the vampire werewolf thing that were trying to get made, and you know, a few of them ended up getting made and actually working out. And Teen Wolf, when I read the script, it just felt different. It felt like there was a really compelling story. I really loved the Romeo and Juliet of Scott and Allison. I just thought that was such a great story. And I loved the characters around him. I thought Styles was always written really well, and I just thought as a friend to Scott, it was such a great role. And then, you know, the mystery of Derek, and is he good, is he bad? I really enjoyed that. Like Derek was the one I got called in for, and it's really the only one I think I would have been right for. So I really enjoyed the opportunity to play him that first season.
Okay, and my second question is, well, seeing as in the first seasons Derek is really like a more serious person, like, was it hard getting into character for him?
No, because it just went back to like my baseball thing. Yeah, like when I was playing baseball, I had a good time playing baseball. I was always really competitive and pretty serious about it. So it was, I just got to like tap into part of my life that I wasn't playing out on the baseball field anymore. So it was good. It was like a good mix.
Thank you. I really appreciate your being here.
Thank you. It's good to be here. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Hello again.
Hello again.
Don't realize how daunting it is until you get so I have two questions. My first one is kind of similar to the one that was previously asked, so I'm just going to ask in case you have something more specific to propose. But my question was, what is your favorite memory that you have from the set of the Teen Wolf movie?
Yeah, I think that was really it. I think just having everybody back together again. You know, we all stay in touch. We all see each other a lot, but like, you know, it's one at a time or two at a time. But to have everybody together, that was really special. It felt like, yeah, it just felt like a really great reward for us for the years we put in on the show to get that time again.
Great. And my second question is, what is your favorite book if you read, and why?
My favorite book. Oh, I kind of can't say because I'm kind of doing something with it. I won't answer that, but I will say one of my favorite books. You know what? I really wish I finally went back and watched all the Harry Potter movies like 3 years ago, and they were great. And it made me really upset that I hadn't read the books when I was younger. But one of the books that like everybody was reading that I really enjoyed was Da Vinci Code. I thought Da Vinci Code was like such a fun read. That was the first book that had really gotten me back into reading. Just because I've been working as an actor since I was 9 years old, so pretty consistently I've always had like a script to read, or like when I would start a book, an audition would come in. So it made it kind of difficult to really stay focused on them and get through them. But Da Vinci Code was the first one that I read. I couldn't put it down. I had to read the next chapter. Friends wanted to go out, and I was like, no, go, leave me alone, reading. And that was really great. So I always loved that book for doing that for me. But I will say one of my favorite books, it's not really like a narrative book, it kind of is, but it's Sapiens. I don't know if you ever read Sapiens. But yeah, who read Sapiens? Who's like, yeah, great book. Great book. So I really enjoyed that. A lot of things about my life that kind of give, I guess, clarity as to why I really enjoyed that book, but it's a longer story for another time. But I thought that was a really great book.
Awesome, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, final question.
So, I'm not that familiar with you, so I was wondering...
I'm Tyler. Nice to meet you.
I wanted to ask when you started acting and what your motivation was to act.
So I'll try to do this fairly quick. We have like how many minutes?
Yeah, 3 minutes.
3 minutes? I can do this in 3 minutes. Okay, so I was 7 years old. My parents told me that I had done commercials when I was a baby. And I thought, oh, well that'd be kind of cool. I could make my own money, and then I could get whatever I want with my money. So I can get my baseball cards, I can get video games, I can, whatever I want. I can just go get Pokemon cards, anything. So I thought about it, and then we had an invitation to go audition for this acting school. And it was a day that I had a baseball game, and we got a phone call that our baseball game, the weather was bad, it was raining, and so they canceled the game. We had nothing else to do that day. So I went to this audition. That was my motivation to do it, honestly. I just wanted to be able to go make money and spend it on what I wanted to get. But then I got into classes, and I really kind of just fell in love with it. I really enjoyed it. It was really fun. I met some really cool people going to this school, and then it was only a few months later that I got my first agent. It's like my 5th audition, I got my first job. I was 9 years old when I got my first job, and then it just kind of kept going from there. I really accidentally fell into it, and I'm glad I did, because I really enjoyed it, and it's changed my life. The people that I've met through doing it, and stories I've been able to tell, and thoughts and ideas I've been able to explore. Yeah, it's been a great happy accident.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, man.
Okay, guys, put your hands together for Mr. Hoechlin.
Have a great time.